Hi, Sunny. Welcome in. Hope you're having a nice weekend. We are gonna continue working on what we've been working on the last time when I was streaming. And it's this weird strip mall. The last time we spent a lot of time on building this cute roof terrace with this walkway on top of it. And I'm very happy with this. But the strip mall itself still needs a bit of cleaning up. One thing I added off stream that I think turned out great is this. I asked Const about good ideas for what business to use for this. And I was a bit lost because while I generally have a good idea of US brands, I did not have any good idea of motels or hotels or anything. So I think this is a great fit from looking around. There is a few other places that also seem to be a great fit. In fact, wait, can we show it somewhere easily without too much struggle? Well, I guess actually here, because I think I also added something we can use here, and I can use this to showcase something else real quick. Because yes, one of the motels and hotels I definitely want to use in future is this one. Because goddamn, what an absolutely amazing retro logo type. It was not a perfect fit for what I wanted in that position. But Sunny, look at this logo. If this is not absolute perfect retro trash, I don't know what is. I did not know about Super 8. I was really excited when I was looking at different motels and hotels after the suggestions from Cons, and I found this one because what an absolute stunner! Like wholeheartedly, I think this looks amazing. So we're definitely gonna use this in future as well, but for that one we settled with Days In instead. And did you manage to fix your game? I don't really know why. I felt a bit sorry about it, because I've seen you ask in my Discord, and I was quite busy in that game, so I entirely missed that entire conversation where you were asking about your game issues and fixing them. And I've seen it afterwards, after you had a lot of answers, so I didn't really get involved anymore, but I hope you got everything fixed. See if we can spin this the right way, something like this. We're gonna spend a bit of right everywhere time, especially at the start. I think generally my streams in the weekend are a bit slower and more empty than otherwise, so I think this generally is a good moment for us to do those a bit more boring kind of things. Well, look, there is a gentleman I just been talking about. I was literally just telling Sunny that you helped me a bit in choices of hotel, and look at what we chosen in the end, because yeah, you gave me a lot of good suggestions. And in the end, I went with Days In. I'm absolutely a gigantic fan of the logo type of Super 8 as well. Super 8 absolutely looks stunning. But yeah, for now, I really enjoyed the Days In and went for that here. So it's doing good. Yeah, my Right Everywhere always was working. I think there is a bug currently with Right Everywhere, which makes it a bit complicated to reload the sprites, right? So if we add something while we're playing and then we try to reload our sprites, it will cause us issues, but Right Everywhere works perfectly fine if you just add them prior to it. And here, this is probably gonna be a fairly quick one, I guess. I just want to give this Baba Gump here a nice neon sign as well, so we can finish up on that one. So, working on it. And that's a cute streak. I'm sure you had a lot bigger streaks prior prior to your holidays, but appreciate it. Gaga taking over district. I like it. I hope we can make this big. Sunny bought pretty much the entirety of Los Vagos last stream, so we can need somebody to take some of his back. Not saying you should steal Sunny's properties. You can steal from whoever you want to, but I'm a fan of this. I hope you can properly see it like this. Obviously, you will have to choose which ones you're most interested in. Okay, I guess we're gonna give Gaga some time to redeem all of them, and then we move in.
Try to take over the world.
And I agree, Cons. Days In was an absolute... The logo is perfect. Some of the logos of these trashy hotels and motels are absolutely amazing. So I wholeheartedly had a great time looking at your suggestions. Okay, we're at 6, Gaga. So I will have to ask you to choose 6 different districts. Obviously, you can also tell me to choose for you, but preferably I don't want to get involved in any of the district takeovers and let you guys battle it out. And yeah, they were great, really. They were exactly the vibe I was looking for. I quite literally was looking for, you call them harshly crack hotel, I would say rundown hotels, but yeah, you're not wrong. Okay, Sunny is getting ripped off, I can tell already, and I'm not saying I'm absolutely here for it, but I'm absolutely here for it. Also, this would be my first district, I would claim, so good choice. Oh, you're taking over the entire mine. I can see what's happening here. I see. I mean, it's exactly what I was hoping for. You take this as well. The heck? Why did he not switch over? There we go. 3. Okay, actually this entire area. I see what you're doing.
Same thing
and I like it.
Try to take over the world.
This and... Oh, why did he not rename that? I guess I always need to click off of it first. Alright, Cons, are you going in right hard and stealing it right back, or are you choosing anything different? I mean, again, zoom out properly so you can see. Wholeheartedly, good choice. This is the by far coolest part of Los Vagos, so that would also be my choice right away. There you go, it's yours, and as a first thing, we're gonna jump in with a save just to make sure that we have all of this saved in there as well, and now we can go back. One of the things beside this boring sign that we'll do here really quick is gonna be this, and for this I'm actually helpful, or I'm gonna show you this in a moment, but I'm happy about any helpful inputs on what walls we could use for this. I'm looking for something kinda like this. This is a tad too high, sadly. And I wish I would not have this divider in there. Maybe somebody has a good idea. This is gonna be one of the next things we're gonna dive into, because I think nothing more typical for those American strip malls than having those gigantic signs outside listing all of the businesses. Maybe Cons would disagree as an actual American. Again, I'm a fraud American. I have no clue about the US. I just build weird things from holiday memories or movies and pop culture. So don't ever take me too serious with this. And what are we doing? We don't even want to import yet. We first need to put our layer there appropriately. I wish there was a way to automate this. I mean, it is pretty automated, so I can't complain too much in all honesty. But what we're doing now is going to be a little tedious, and I wish there was a way to automate it. Let's see first which the right axis is. I guess this is the right axis, and we want to go negative, so we're going to put minus 0.02. Usually I do 1, and I think that gets cleaner, but then we want this one to be kind of thick. So I think we might take a .2 instead to save a little bit of work. That still looks solid enough, and I'm lazy today, so -2 it is. This is our perfect repeater, so now we can go ahead and export this as XML, and we call it GAMP repeater. And now we do the very, very exciting part of just importing this over and over again. Always make sure to switch on the child. And this is the part that I meant that would be so cool if we could automate it, because again, it's not too bad. It's not a world of work, but then imagine this would be a single click instead. Because this is like 90% of what I personally do is write everywhere. So yes, automating this would be very welcome. We can already slowly see how we're getting thicker and thicker. And while in real life I'm not a fan of that happening, for my write everywhere instances, I'm a big fan of this happening. Gaga! I will have to, while I like dictatorship in this channel, you be real careful, because there's only one accepted dictator in this city, and he's the president itself, so you be careful how you use your powers, else maybe you're the one getting timed out. I mean, it depends. If you buy me a new graphic card, then maybe we can talk about cheating and you extorting people in the city. Unless that happens, I think I'm gonna have to spank you for this. You know, in Los Vagos we're big about corruption, and yeah, you were no exception, even though you're a moderator. Okay, I think this probably is already thick enough. Nice thick boy. Again, we've been a bit cheaty with a distance being a tad bigger than usually, so in this angle it starts getting fairly distorted. Do we care? I don't think we care, but I do think actually we can. Do they still add? Because eventually you reach a max amount of children and you don't even get wider anymore, which I think just happened. So now, with us being happy, we again want to find our right axis. I think it should be this one. Yes. And we are gonna move this hopefully to a point where we hide both sides. And sadly, now we get exactly what I was hoping we don't get, because it's very obvious to see that in the back our pole is poking through this. There is a fairly easy fix for this, especially on this one, because we have the pole with this going to the front, and we could just turn it sideways. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the highest out of all of these, turn it by 90 degrees, and then I think now we should be able to move it perfectly. That it shouldn't be. Oh, never mind. We actually have to make this a little bigger, which is not a problem for us, but good to know. So again, we're learning together here. But yes, obviously this is still not thick enough, so we're gonna go and take and duplicate this. I'm just gonna be lazy and copy and paste it in there, and then we're gonna move it from there. We wanna change it as root element, and now I think we have to go back to this side. I'm never sure which the right one is, but yes, this is the right one, and now we just move it further, that they're overlapping a bit might actually make the rendering a tad less pretty, so we're gonna try to actually properly align both of them, and to do that we should have moved this one a bit further. We're gonna move this right in the middle, and then we follow up with this one real close to it. And like this, we're happy. And that should pretty much be it. We can change the rotation on the object itself in a moment. The last two things we're gonna do is add the lightning, because we will need lightning on this. Depending on which element, on this one it should be the very first. So we go in here to the styles, we do this, we turn on this. You guys have seen me do this 1,000 times. If anybody wants explain more appropriately what we're doing here, please ask for it. I think I've do this so much on stream that it's not really worth it explaining what we're doing here, but gladly tell me I'm wrong and you would like to know better what the fuck I just did. And then I can explain it, but I don't think it's necessary. But again, gladly ask. Also, to recheck real quick of what we just did is working in the first place. We're gonna go in here and turn all of this to the night. And we can already see that what we just did, I did not do correctly because I took the wrong layer. So good, we just changed it, because now we can correct it. It's not a big problem, because we can go in here, just take this and copy and paste it, and now we turn this off and reset it back to 0, 0. And now we know that it's the first one in this one. So we go back in here, do the same thing, we turn on the formula, and now we can just copy paste it. We don't need to fill it ourselves anymore, which makes stuff a bit easier. And then in general that looks a bit strong in my opinion, so we go quite higher with this value and upgrade this a bit. And I'm gonna do your district takeover in a second. I literally just want to finish this single sign, and I'm all yours, son here. This is a bit annoying because here we need the backside, so we need the last child element. So we need to open all of these, and it might be that these ones render, don't render anymore, because I did not pay attention in if the last child is still rendering or if it isn't. So we need to recheck this, and it does look like it's not rendering anymore. So again, this is on me for working a bit unclean. See, this one is too much, so we can go in, hit this one out. We want to keep this, and we want to have the value pretty similar to the other one. Put it somewhere there, not metallic, but this one, my bad, little under 1. But yes, this is exactly what I wanted. Now we literally just have to adjust this accordingly and put it where we want it, and then we have the look that we were out for. I just found it very weird that the Baba Gump is the only business without neon. And now we put some nice neon there as well. I was gonna complain why this isn't lightning, but it is. It just took a moment. And in a second, we're gonna go ahead and also try to turn some of these signs into right everywhere instances. But again, for now, we're gonna look at it. I can actually put a map on Discord, for sure, that's not a problem, but I can also zoom out again. And actually not photo mode, so you can see. Thank you kindly, Clovis. That's very nice and very kind of you. I do have bad news for you though, Clovis. You remember that I tried to make the district takeover redeem in my channel a bigger thing? And for a while it's been a bit underappreciated, but in the last stream and in this one, it seems to finally take up some speed again. So somebody stole your radio station. I'm totally innocent and I'm not gonna tell you who stole it, but it's now called Sunny's Radio Row. I have nothing to do with that, but things happened. Okay, rock solid it is. Things are getting stolen back and forth today. There we go. It's claimed. And there it is, and it's yours. And Clovis, look at this beauty. If you are gonna tell me this does not look incredibly American, I don't know what can look more American than having a strip mall here with all kinda trashy US businesses. In fact, my favorite trashy US businesses. I guess, I'm not sure, Baba Gump is Baba Gump a British business? Because I might be incorrect in using Baba Gump here. Again, I'm not an American, so I don't care. As long as it looks like it could be in the US for me, then I'm fine. We will. Jay, I made some, arguably very little, because I was working on other things, but I did some very little progress. Back here, careful, flashbang. I'm gonna turn that off real quick. But I thrown down some buildings, so if we get through with the strip mall fairly quickly, you can give your input on what I decided, how I kinda want this to look. And it's gonna be the next one we're gonna dive into, so don't you worry, we're gonna get the gun range sooner or later.
The same thing we do every night. Try to take over the world.
I don't even need to ask Clovis. Clovis wants his radio tower back. Clovis had very big attachment to the radio tower very early. Maybe I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but I assume that this is what you were gonna claim. I mean, I get it, Jay. I'm a slow builder. Just give me time. We will get to it eventually. And that Baba Gump is American. Makes me happy, because then what we're gonna do here makes even more sense. I'm gonna leave the decal on there for now, just to try around. But I want to see if we can take at least these big red ones and light them up as well. So again, some boring right everywhere has to be done. Where did it go? There. We definitely have to turn it, and we need to turn it negative, actually, at least for this side. And we want an image, we want a fast food, and we want this one, I believe. And now we have to try if this looks good in neon at all, because this, as you can clearly see, I just stolen Sully's decal and put them into right everywhere. It has the shadow included in it, and maybe lighting this up looks a bit silly with a shadow. So maybe we stick with a decal, maybe we don't. I just want to have a real quick look at this. So we go in here. I should have actually, wait, hold on, we can steal that here real quick. We're gonna go in here, go in the first layer, go on that and steal the formula so we don't have to reapply it. And now we can literally just steal that formula to be able to copy it in here, because this can be a bit unintuitive. To be able to copy something in here, you just need to turn the formula on. And then you can use any formula from somewhere else and just copy it and it will work. But you need to first toggle the formula so it does allow you to use it at all. And now we're gonna have a quick look at it just to see how fine it looks in the night. And I think that looks fine enough. So I think seeing this, I definitely want to yeet out the decals and replace them with a neon. It's just 2 of them. All of the rest we can use in, or we can leave as decals. But just to have this, and then on each side one of the big logo types proper. So we can already align this one. I can tell is a little too tiny, maybe. Oh, that looks a bit too big already. 130, 125, 120 even. Holy. Maybe, we'll see. We're a bit too far away right now, so it's really difficult to see. That was a bit over-motivated. That looks fairly alright, and actually 120 is a tad too small. Let's put it on 125. The decal actually was a little bigger than I would have liked it, so that it's a tiny tad smaller. I'm absolutely not against. In fact, I think that is pretty fitting, because especially here on the right side, I figured it looks a bit too crowded. And now we move it down. And I think I am perfectly happy with that. The only question is if we should adjust this one, because here I actually think it turns the color a little weird. So I think we roughly want 0.5. And again, we want to copy this and we go over to... Oh, never mind. We actually don't have an element here yet. I'm being silly. That's a decal. So here we can be even lazier and we can just take this element and we can copy it, we paste it, and now we just move this entire thing around. For that we will have to change this to 90. Go away, there we go, and now we just need to align it and then we're done with this right away. With this I don't think we need any depth in it. I mean, Sunny, the good news for you is district takeovers aren't permanent. So if you want a radio station back, nobody can stop you. You just need to claim it again, and then it's yours. But this is pretty much all I wanted to do here. Now, obviously, we have to go in and heat out those two decals that are below it to make this look a bit better. Maybe we should also give this some depth. Do I feel motivated to give this some depth right now? I don't think so, so I think we're gonna leave it for now at least. Being a bit lazy here, but what can we do? Now comes the bigger question, and I guess Jay, as usual, probably has a good idea for this. Because I think it's fairly obvious what the next thing I want to build is. I really like these. I think the pillars are great and give me exactly what I want. I am not yet happy with the board in the middle. This one is nearly perfect, but I cannot turn this any whiter than it is. And sadly, I do think this is a tad too gray for my liking. So I would need something similar to this, but whiter. Honestly, this wall would be perfect if it did not have these in the top and in the bottom, because they are a little too big for a single one, and I find a cut too big to be in between each and every one of them. So not entirely sure what a good option for this could be. These walls, maybe, though they're also a tad too high for my liking. I'm not entirely sure. So I am very happy about any ideas for good props for this. I've been looking around a bit and I have not yet found something that makes me really happy. Maybe actually a higher version of this one. Because then maybe that looks a bit off, but this could actually work. Because then we have a split in the bottom and in the top. I want to have a real quick look at this, because if we take two of those and we turn one of these, hold on, first things first, we move this one up a bit and we copy the position, we paste the position, and now we just take this entire thing and turn it. I don't understand why sometimes they don't want to turn the entire way around like this. It will allow us to do, but it should allow us to do that in both axes. Does it look too silly that the stains are the wrong way around in the bottom? I don't think so. I think this could be a good fit, actually. Definitely looks better than this one. I think we might... The only problem we might have with this, or now are they both running exactly in the same place? I think so. Oh, whoops, this is what I wanted. But the issue with this might be that it's a tad too slim. Actually, that looks really good. Because I cannot really adjust the width of this, because we get really ugly Z fighting if I let those overlap. But no, I do think this probably is perfect. I forgot that we have a higher version of this one as well. Yeah, I do think this is absolutely perfect. This is probably the one we go for. So we can go ahead and yeet out all of these other ones we don't want. This, I guess we also don't really need anymore. This one we can still let stand. And then I guess we actually could get rid of this one as well. That we throw out, and now we're gonna have a look if we want to delete the other one as well or not. I think probably we want to. Hi Andy, welcome in. Is the budget version of your build here is very similar, but I don't have custom assets, so it's a budget version of yours, I would say. And welcome in, Rezara. I'm curious, Rezara, you confuse me, because you started a new map for a while, but then the last build you posted in my Discord was from your old build again. So did you decide against your new build and return to your original build? Or are you building both side by side now and switching back and forth? Actually, maybe we could have needed that, because I'm not entirely sure about the... We're gonna start filling this one up, just to see how many we need, and then afterwards we can decide. Which tile pattern? This one? If so, this is my favorite surface in the game, and an Elgando surface, so no surprise that it's my favorite. But yeah, feel very welcome to compliment that tile surface, because it's an amazing Elgando surface. So honestly, no surprise. If it's that one, maybe you mean something else as well. But yeah, now comes the bit annoying part, and I want to make sure that we build this clever and modular. Because we will probably have to repeat this time. So when using Right Everywhere, it's always important to think how you want to use those things eventually. Because in an example like this one, we definitely want to work with a lot of nested elements, because we want to be able to adjust these afterwards. Oops. Minus 90, gentlemen. Thank you. Because what I mean with the nesting is that later on we will be able to import and export whatever we build right here. But now, if we build all of this as single elements, we will also have to import and export every single element. If we build this a clever way, right away, and we nest these with each other, then we will have to build it only a single or export it only a single time, and can import it in a single click. So what I mean by that, you guys will understand in a moment, but all of this should make sense. Now we will have to have a look at this with wall greens as a very first. So we start with wall greens. Obviously all of these are gonna be way too big. 30, something like that looks appropriate. And now it does this to where we roughly want it. The annoyance with nesting them is a bit that if we adjust this, we will adjust all of the other ones in the future as well, which might have a bit of an unwanted consequence for us. But I think it's still worth doing it because it makes the import and export so much easier for us. What I mean with this is if we add our next element, what we're not going to do is add it at the root, but we're going to add it as a child, which again doesn't make a giant difference, but allows us to just export this single element later, and then it's just a single element we have to import. So keep that in mind when working with Write Everywhere, that you build things in a way that are comfy to keep working with later. Next one behind Walgreens is PetSmart. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. And I mean, you can use it, Andy. You just have to finally admit that you've been wrong for the last 2 years and that Cities 2 is the better game. And you just have to be the bigger man and finally switch and give in to play the better game with us together. And then you have all of this great stuff available. You're the one denying yourself that happiness. How can you? I'm always fascinated because I don't think I can work on that many builds at the same time. I think I get stun locked. I need to be fully invested into one. Eventually we will get to a point where we will probably start a second one as well, and I'm already scared of it because I don't think I will do nearly as good as a job with multiple builds than with a single one. And here I want to actually have a real quick look at the other logos. If we have a second one that's really shallow, maybe we can combine two of them in a single row. So let's have a real quick look. Actually the Ross Dress for Less one and the Best Buy might make a good row next to each other because all of the other ones are very wide, so we want to have them run by itself. The Baba Gump is also fairly thin. Now I'm curious. This is a question going out to my American viewers, or mainly to my American viewers. If you have a strip mall like this in the US, or in Canada, obviously, Andy also invited to answer, and you have a sign like this in the front telling you all of the brands that you can expect in this strip mall, would a fast food business that's part of the strip mall complex, but a bit more distance from it and closer to the road, would this one still be listed in that sign or wouldn't it? Because it's not really part of the complex. I would guess it gets listed as well. I assume that yes means it gets listed as well, because then maybe we should use a Baba Gump one instead next to it. Though the Baba Gump one, we could actually just take this one that's a lot wider. Let's try around. We can change it out as well. But we'll go back in here. This one is where it's on. That was a bit confusing. This is the Best Buy, and now we want to move this to this side. I guess, yeah. I mean, that this is very common. I actually, again, I build a lot of this not from looking at Google Maps, but from like tainted childhood memories. And when me and my family were living in Arizona in the past, I was a small child, so very faded childhood memories. But one of the things I remember is that very many of the strip malls had something like this, where you have the main complex pulled back a bit, but then you have something like a drive-through fast food business, or maybe a drive-through bank or something in the front, and then the back complex behind it. So we actually corrected this at the start. I just had all of this as an open plaza, and then I was like, no, this does not look American enough. I want one of these buildings in the front at the street as well. So I actually very purposefully corrected that to be better fitting than it was at the start. What did I say we want to use here? We want to try the Ross Dress for Less. Am I blind? There we go. All of these brands are also probably not regionally fitting to where I put them. It's more that a lot of these brands we're using here really, again, are in my kinda fainted and far away childhood memories. So we're going with those memories, less than actual accuracy of the situation. But I think that works perfectly fine. Something like this, we will have to probably correct all of the margins a bit afterwards. But not bad, and I think that should also fit, because we're missing Applebee's, we're missing TJ Maxx, we're missing Dollar Tree, we're missing the Days Inn and the Baba Gump. I think we will manage to fit all of them in here if we move the space around a bit. And luckily none of these needs, oops, here I'm doing exactly what I said not to do. We want to make sure to nest all of these so we can use them easier. So again, make sure to use them as child, not as object. And if you would be clever and you want to have an easier time going back onto all of your layers later, you should totally go in and name them. But then I'm not known to be clever, so I'm not gonna name them. But yeah, if you want to have an easier time and want to help yourself in the build in future, I would totally recommend that you name your layers here. But I'm better at giving good advice than listening to good advice, so take it as you want. Let me catch up on chat real quick. You have all of these there in Florida. That's very curious for me, because again, for me, they are mainly representative of my memories from Arizona. And I do think in the US, more than, at least in a country like Germany, but also in all fairness, Germany obviously is tiny by landmass compared to the US. But here, brands are less regional. Yes, we totally have regional brands in some areas, but if it's a bigger chain, then generally they are nationwide chains. Obviously, that comes with exceptions, and some of them aren't, but I would say yes, the absolute majority is pretty much statewide. And in the US, I always had a different feeling. I always felt like quite a lot of the US businesses are fairly regional and only exist in some specific markets. See, Sunny, that really depends. I think my Photoshop layers are... We need to define. When I'm working and I'm sketching and I draw out something, my Photoshop layers are horrible. If I give you a finished project, you have never seen cleaner layer management than in my files. So that just depends on the stage of the project, really. But don't flag my Photoshop management, because it is the creme de la creme, really.
That's what she said.
I mean, if she would say that, then I would be very happy about that. I take that as a compliment. I'm not against that. So now the only question is, can we manage to squeeze all of these so far that we can actually fit everything? Because we're missing a few brands. We're missing 2 brands, and both of them have a kind of big logo. We're missing Baba Gum still, and we're missing the Days In. So we will need to either squeeze this, or we will need to find something that's higher. The sign is already pretty goddamn massive though, if we look at it in first person. So I think squeezing everything to fit is the better solution than making the sign bigger. So we're gonna go in here and open this. Why are these both nested? Only one of these should be nested. That actually is... Okay, why are these nested? These shouldn't be nested. Not a problem, but makes this a bit more confusing. Yeah, see, this is why I told you if you guys would be clever and like me, you would name everything. Because now I have to click on everything and then always look down here, check the name of the brand to see which one we're working with currently. So yes, it's not the end of the world because you can kind of see it there, but would this have been a lot easier than otherwise? Absolutely. I think we both need to put this one and the TJ Maxx logo, they're both a bit too big. I think if we put this to third, that looks a lot more appropriate already. What I don't like is the Dollar Tree. I mean, I shouldn't be too serious on this, but the Dollar Tree is the widest and starting as a first. I never liked the look of that. So much rather we want this one up here. The nesting sucks a bit though, because this is gonna be a tiny bit annoying to move. We can keep it like this for now. We'll move these up, and then we should have enough space for 2 others there. Actually, it's gonna get tight. This is gonna be a bit tight. I don't really want to make this one... See, actually, we have the solution. Because this one is kind of shitty in space. We're gonna take this one small as well. And then I think we can manage to fit everything. The look of this, I'm not totally happy with, but then I shouldn't start graphic designing it right everywhere. So I'm gonna try to stop myself from going a bit overboard. And I'm so annoyed with myself how shitty that these two are nested as well. Otherwise, this would be a lot easier. Do you have some... I mean, I know you're not from Arizona, so this is gonna be a difficult question for you to answer, I guess. But since I assume you might have an idea, do you have a good example for national brands of Arizona or Utah or Colorado? That entire area is where I would be the most interested in. So if you have any great regional brands from that area, or if I use them and my US viewers watch my stream, they're immediately like, oh my god, that screams like Arizona. I would be very happy getting that. Oh, actually, it is in a different one. We need to go out and we need to change the atlas to this one. Fries. Okay. Is Smith... maybe you don't even... Maybe you've never heard of that and it's literally just a single supermarket. Smithy's? Something like that. I believe the supermarket we always went to was something like Smithy's. I have a very good memory of that supermarket because they always had something that as a kid was my wet dream. Once a week they had like an RC race outside in the parking lot, with people bringing all kinds of different small RC vehicles and then racing them against each other, and goddamn, I love that. Yeah, gladly. If you have good ideas, gladly DM them to me. No worries in any of that. The one thing I think is here I would like to have two next to each other again, maybe, because the apple trees logo really is annoying me because the space of this is so shit. We can either, with this one we're a bit flexible, because with the Baba Gump we could actually take either this logo, or if we want a second small one we could take this, which I guess is even the more accurate logo. So I think our solution to dealing with the annoying space is that we put the Baba Gump next to the Days Inn. But in that case, I would like to have the PetSmart above it, so we don't have these split right next to each other. Again, my horrible layer management biting me a bit in the ass here, but now we are pretty much set as well. Because the last and only part, and this one we actually do want nested, is adding the Baba Gump, and then we have our perfect signage. And how come you like to play so many cities at once, Rizam? Or is it just that you can't decide if you want to stick to your original build or not? Because if you say, I know that you started the one in the Alps because you posted something of that, but now you said you started an even newer build today. So I guess you're stepping up on, or stacking up on more different ones. Okay, good enough. I could move these around forever, but we don't have to be too over perfectionist. I think this works perfectly fine as big mall signage, so we can go ahead and yeet out this old one I was just trying around with. And fix this one up properly, because there is a few things that are totally not optimal yet, and one thing is the top level there. And I guess visually it actually looks nice if this is a tad lower than the very top. So I think this is a pretty good position. Now, obviously, the last thing we want to do is take these pillars here and move them appropriate to the correct position right next to it. And then we are totally done with this. Same on this side, which I guess it should be the right or the same distance. Yeah, it's also exactly two of them. And now this, it would be my final. Do we have any complaints to this? Do we look at this and think something here looks totally off? Again, it does not have to be perfect or anything, but just a nice, cute detail. Welcome in, Friedrich. We've been spending most of the day so far with very boring right everywhere stuff just to finish up the mall, but I think you literally just came in right when we finished. Unless somebody has complaints about the sign we made here. I hope not. The heck? Why did that just move the way it did? Why is there two pillars? Hold on, something here is wrong. Why is there two pillars? Okay, that makes sense. It moved the word then as well. Let's try again. We're gonna go over. We're gonna mark all of these. I was gonna say, why is the right everywhere not following? But I guess it just needs a moment. I hate that these select so words sometimes. Please, let me take all of them. And now let me... Why is this happening? What is happening here? What am I misclicking so bad? I'm so confused. I'm just trying to turn this. But as soon as I turn it, it disappears. I've never had this happen before, ever. I'm not gonna say I'm majorly confused about what is happening, but I'm absolutely majorly confused about this. Do I have a different object selected somewhere on accident? Has anybody ever seen this happen before? We select this, we don't have anything else selected. We marquee tool all of our elements here. And we try to slide. Now it works. I'm so confused what was wrong there. But I guess don't question it. We're happy it works now. All that matters. Now we bring it roughly here where we want it. I cannot move it up and down. What is happening? I'm beyond confused. I've never seen this happen prior. I'm wholeheartedly confused about what is going on. Like what I'm clicking, just so you guys can follow what is happening here. I'm using the up and down page keys in my keyboard, and then it does this. Which it shouldn't, but I guess it does. Then if those weird things are happening, and welcome in Urban, I guess we have to move this by hand instead, which I was hoping we don't have to, but whatever. We do it this way then. But very weird, that's a bug or an issue I never had. Maybe it's not a bug, maybe it's just me doing something wrong. So I shouldn't call it bug, but definitely a bit weird. There we go, it's done. I'm happy. Now we save this because I don't want to lose this, and we don't have autosave. So just to... You mean if I don't think that should matter. Maybe. But yeah, no, I have not brushed full anarchy over there, but it does have, like without it even applying it. It does have that. I'm not sure where the problem was there. But now we do something that's going to be even more annoying, and we are going to rebuild this entire thing real quick, which hopefully should go fairly quickly because we can just copy everything we have here, and we built the right everywhere thing so cleanly that we should be able to very easily replace all of that. As a first thing first, we place our 4 pillars. We go into this one, for example, and we copy the rotation, and we apply the rotation to all 4 of these to make sure we're working with the same stuff. And now we can quite literally, that decal is a bit annoying, but go in and we just copy not the rotation, but the position of every one of them, and we literally go through and double up all of them. Which I know a bit weird, but you guys will get in a moment while we're doing this. Probably you guys are very clever and know already why we're doing this. Oops. Copy, change to this, and paste. And we're gonna do the same with these walls. We're gonna put one wall and a second wall. We're gonna go in, copy the rotation, put them in both of them, just move it exactly the same. Now we go in, take the position, and we go in and copy the... Oh! Damn it! Not a problem. I think we can literally just... Yeah, okay, not a problem. I'm glad about that. Because what I wanted to do is copy this, not paste it. Put it in here. On like this we can't... Hold on, I actually don't like this, because like this we cannot select it anymore, can we? Oh, yeah, we can select it. Okay, perfect. Then we don't care. We take this, we copy the position, and we try to select this and paste it. And now we have everything here twice, which I know makes no sense. It will make sense in a moment, because now we can go in and put some big value here, something like, I don't know, 4 maybe. And then we just click every single one once and scroll once. So we move every one or every element that we have twice 4 meters to the right. Soon we will have move it, copy and paste. So this will be a lot less painful than how we're doing it right now. At the moment, we don't have move it, copy and paste. So this is the best way we can do it. And the last thing here is, because obviously we only have the write everywhere instance of one of them, is that we go back in here and we save this as an XML object. Actually, I'm gonna wait with this for the ad break, because I think most people know this, but maybe they don't. Okay, now we're done. I was gonna say the last step we're gonna have to do is bring over the write everywhere distance or instance. I just waited real quick so you guys hopefully learn something new. If you don't do this otherwise, it's very simple to bring this across. All we have to do for this really is take this and save it, and you want to make sure to save it as XML, and we call it, I don't even know, we call it brand sign, and we save it. And we go back, and now this is gonna be very nice because we click here, and in a single click we take the brand sign and we have all of that back. And now we have the sign twice, and now I hope we don't get that weird bug again, else we have to move all of this manually, which I really hope we can avoid. And this is a bit annoying because these are exactly on the same position. So there is 2 elements here, but I can only choose one. So we actually are forced to use the marking tool here. I hope I can do that cleanly. And now let's see if we get that same word bug with this. Why is this happening? I don't understand the word anymore. Let's recheck, because maybe Friedrich is right. But there is no sub-element. There shouldn't be even anything disappearing. Like now this is definitely correct. We can even do the transform lock, but it shouldn't matter if it's transform locked or not, I believe. Let's see, now it's definitely... Why? Is this my game being buggy? I've never had this happen with anything prior. I'm so confused. Maybe we just leave the sign here in the middle of the road till I restarted my game the next time. Because... I mean, it's also not reappearing, right? Like, I move it. I don't think the write everywhere piece matters, because we just moved the write everywhere piece, and that was no problem at all. But yeah, these... Hold on. We just move all 4 of these, but that never was a problem. We could always move things with write everywhere instances. Yeah, no, look, even if it's just those 4. Yeah, no, you guys see it. The write everywhere piece is not, it's the pillars. I literally just take the pillars and move them and they disappear. I guess so. Let's try the opposite and take only the write everywhere instances and move them. Yeah, this has no problem. So it's the pillars. It's just a UK pillar. I wholeheartedly don't understand. I've never run into this issue, to be honest. This is a world's first for me. And welcome in, Baganario. Me, it's not the end of the world. I guess we can just move them over there with the transform tool, but yeah, it is a bit more annoying than it would have to be. I'm wonderful. I'm just also really confused about whatever is happening here. Like, again, I've never in the past had this happen. Why is this happening? It just full on the entire object that just disappears as soon as I move it. I guess this really wants to be where it is. But yeah, wholeheartedly, no clue. Never had a similar issue to what we're having right here. I will just leave it where it is and hope that maybe a game restart changes what is happening here. I wholeheartedly doubt it. I don't think that is a game issue. But just to make sure, I don't want to invest a lot of time into figuring out what is wrong here, if it might just be that. So we're just going to leave the sign where it is, and we're going to go into actually detailing this area out a bit, because now otherwise we're perfectly fine. The only thing I wanted to do is take this sign and put one of them over here. So we have a second one as a place there, but we can do that later on. What we have not done in any of this area yet, and it's something we really have to do, is decal work. And there's gonna be quite a lot of decal work here, I assume. We will have to trick a bit as well, because some of these decals will not work on roads, and we have some roads under here as well to connect stuff appropriately. So we will have to make sure that we're using some of the adjusted decals that I just adjusted to go on top of everything to get that look we want. Sir, Ice Flake is gonna be the savior of the game. I know I seem to be the only one being positive about this, but I feel like we'll have really good times in cities ahead. I'm probably gonna bite my own tongue, and you guys can make fun of me in future and tell me how wrong I was. But you're laughing, Ice Flakes being the savior. I kinda actually think so. Again, maybe I'm too cocky here. I think I am right. The more I learned about this situation, the more I have a good feeling about this, and I think the community misunderstands this as Paradox wanting to go away from cities. I think this is the exact opposite. This is Paradox committing to cities, saying this title is so central and relevant for us that we wanna make it a full part of our studio. I don't even think we need to be so patient. I also think that is not entirely correct, because from what I've been reading, and again, I have not figured any of this by myself, a lot of this is information from other Discords or Reddit or something, so I might as well have read something that's not true, but from what people have been saying and looking at is when they check the LinkedIn profiles of many of the Ice Flake workers, it seems like Ice Flakes has already been involved in some of the bridges and port stuff, for example. So I don't think we have a situation where there is gonna be an entire, or now we have to switch staff team. I think a lot of the personnel is gonna be the same, and I think that Ice Flakes already, at least in parts, has been involved with recent development, from my understanding. So I don't think there is such a big, we have to set up everything in our new studio. Because yes, that would be the case if we would have an entire new workforce and everything. And to some degree, that surely will be the case, because even if they take over quite a lot of the Colossal Order workforce, yes, there is a lot of change, and probably new management and such will have some impact on how the processes inside of the company work and such. But I don't know. I don't think there's gonna be a very big break or something. And also, I think their timing is really good, because I assume if we feel a break, which we might or might not, then that break should come after we've gotten the editor. So, I don't know. What games did Maxis make? That name rings something for me, but then I have to admit I don't have any clue on what games they made. Oh, actually, okay, they made SimCity. Fair. I have to admit, I know that's probably a very uncommon thing to say in the Cities community. I have never played SimCity. Please don't unfollow or throw rocks at me. I'm very new to city building games. The only proper city game or city builder games I played was my 30 hours of CS1. And then, yeah, now CS2. And I did play city builder games, but I more played survival kind of city builder games in the past. I like RimWorld a lot. I like games like Prison Architect a lot, or I don't know, I love Banished. I think Banished is an amazing game, but a typical city builder like Cities is, I have never played in the past. This is my very first one. I think it's also to some degree why I'm so happy with the game, because I've never seen it done any better, right? Like it's like, I don't know, if you never had a really nice car, I guess you will not hate your shitty car so much, because you don't know how it is to drive a very nice car. But I never had a nice Cities game, so I don't know any better, so I have always been fairly happy. I mean, maybe I can delete my channel soon, because I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this, but there have been ramblings that my favorite Cities content creator, and I'm sorry for everybody else, because there is many great Cities creator in my chat right now that would deserve to be my favorite. But my actual favorite Cities creator, Red Kool-Aid, seems to be coming back to the game. I kinda just started to stream because Kool-Aid didn't make any stuff anymore. So if Kool-Aid actually comes back and builds nice builds again, then yeah, I might as well go ahead and delete my channel, because I'll never be that good anyways. He is the single best builder in the Cities community. Or maybe I shouldn't say single best builder, because I do think there's other people that technically probably are better builders than him. But the combination out of quality of build, quality of entertainment, and funny humor is unfound anywhere else in the space. So it's mainly the combination of things that make him be my very favorite. Because otherwise, like for example, if it's about technique and quality of build, then probably Sully edges out against Kool-Aid. And Sully is an absolutely amazing builder in terms of like technique and quality and figuring interesting ways how to do something. But then he's British, and British people, I know, Sunny, you will not be happy to hear this, but British people are nearly as unfunny as Germans. So sadly, you guys will never be able to be as funny as Kool-Aid is. And welcome in, Lawrence. How are you doing on this wonderful evening? I would never criticize any UK residents. There is too many of them in my channel right now, so I would have to fear for consequences. So obviously I was kidding. The UK is the best country in the world. Clearly, it's why we have left-hand traffic in Los Vagos, because I really wanted to make this a UK build. It was clearly not an accident. Yeah, the back alley here is something we're gonna start spending a lot of time in a moment. Already this looks a lot more at Los Vagos here. I know it looks a bit dirty, but then Los Vagos just is a bit dirty, so that is totally correct. And am I the only one being tilted by the new LODs from the vehicles? Look at this car while it's driving and look at the wheels. The fuck is happening? That happens to all of the cars now at a certain distance. If we look at this one. Or maybe the muscle cars actually don't do that, but all the non-muscle cars, I've seen the wheels kinda close out when they drive. Let's have a look here at the street. Probably now I can't manage to get it to show anymore. Maybe it's not all of them. It definitely happens to some of them. For example, this. I know that we watched this one look really weird in the past. Why is it not happening now? We looked at this in the last stream already. This cannot be not happening anymore. In certain distances, yeah, here we get it as well. Where the wheels are kind of closing off. I'm trying. It's not easy for me, Jay. It's very difficult for me to do everything. So I'm trying my hardest. I think Imperator is great. Like, I actually watch loads of Imperator. Funnily, I watch more Imperator since he plays less cities. Because I did always really enjoy Imperator builds, even though he's not like the most close-up detailer. Like, I generally like it. But I love these videos. I think they're amazing, and I think his new videos are even better because he nowadays barely makes videos about Cities Skylines, but he makes videos about actual cities topics, right? Where he goes over cities. Mainly, honestly, I would call it Google Maps content. I don't really know how you would qualify, but he basically shares his journey on Google Maps about things. And I love it. I think it's really impressive and they're really fun. Or all of these new? I don't think I've ever seen any of these. Did we get new streetlights in the last update? Or in bridges and ports? It's definitely too much for what we want here. Not bad. This one is also new and this one actually is pretty cute. Maybe we're trying to use this one. Let's have a look real quick. Turn this during the night. I want to see how the light is, because some of them are very cold and harsh light, and I don't like that. So let's hope that this one actually is kind of soft. If that one is not that soft. Actually, it is kind of soft, but the color temperature is pretty cold as well. But yeah, these are definitely new. I've never seen these prior. Want to compare, because I think the prettiest light is this one. Not because the lantern itself also probably is my favorite one. But the main reason I like this the most is because the light is the softest. Though also something that does really annoy me in this one is that the light is very warm and yellowish. But then the model itself and the shine we get here is incredibly harsh and cold, and I think it's a bit weird because I think the actual light it gives does not fit the light we see here in the bulb. I wish that would be a bit of a nicer fit. But yeah, I don't like any of the street lights too much because they all have that. They all look incredibly harsh. I would like shittier, darker lights than what we have. These are all crazy. Like, all of these new lights, they are so overly detailed. I think they were beautiful, but unless I'm building a castle garden, I don't know where I would even use any of those. This one is very pretty again, but then same thing, the light is so much, look at how much colder the light is. I guess we can live with it. I think we're gonna use this one just because we use that one all the time. But yeah, the light situation in this game has never made me perfectly happy, to be honest. And maybe actually looking at it, I think this is a bit too classic, so I eat my own words like I always do. I think we have better one, and I think the most fitting one for here actually is this one. Where I don't like the light so much, but I think it otherwise fits the atmosphere of this mall the best. So we're gonna go ahead and work with this one. I'm never too sure of the lanterns, because one of the truths is we have never worked with enough light in Los Vagos and kinda ignored it. I'm trying to better myself and make our city prettier even during the night, but I need to learn working with light a bit better than I've done so far. And I very much agree with you, Jay. I also think there is very different creators who excel at very different things. Like Sunny is a great example for this. Because I think while Sunny generally plays less modded than I personally would like to, I think Sunny has a very specific style in his cities that even though he plays so lightly modded, I think you can tell that a Sunny city is a Sunny city. And I find that very impressive, and I find in general Sunny's builds always very pretty, but I think for me the most unique part is that, like, really, I think Sunny has a very specific style, even though the city does not look super unique for some reason. That sounds harsh, but it does not look super unique, not because it's not a unique build, but more because you limit yourself in mod so much, but then you still manage to carry your very unique styles with it. And I think that's super cool, wholeheartedly. Which would be some of your examples, James, if you say that, and what they excel in, because I do find that very interesting. I've never even thought about that, Sunny, to be honest, as a fair take. I don't mind so much. I mainly feel like my light placement is very random. During the night, this looks fine, but if we look at this in a moment during the day, I think it's gonna look a bit weird, because I feel like my lanterns don't follow enough logic with where I place them. Gonna try to keep this a bit more logical and bring them in the same places, because I guess that's how lanterns are mainly in real life. They generally are pretty normed and running in similar positions. So I guess we're gonna try to get this somewhat normed and regular as well. Here, maybe it's even cute to go in the planters. I think we're gonna do that, yes. The question is, do we need more light here? I guess we need more light here. If you have any feedback on my light placement, especially negative feedback, please come at me and tell me why what I'm doing is not great. Because I feel a bit lost in placing lights in this game. I think it's also, I'm curious if Jay would agree as a German person and other people who travel to Germany in the past would agree. I think German cities are incredibly dark compared to most other countries. I don't know why that is the case, but in German streets, fairly often you have very little street lights. I think part of that is because Germany is at least a relatively safe country, and light often comes with a feeling of safety. So I think in many cities there is a lot of light because that makes it feel safer, and we need that a bit less. But I've never fully understand, but I can tell that if I'm in the holidays, I feel like there is so much light in other places compared to most German cities, at least. Ceiling light, you mean on top of the roof terrace, or what do you mean with ceiling light? It depends. Some of the Christmas light, it depends if it's tacky Christmas decoration or not. I actually quite like it. What even are ceiling lights, Sunny? You mean these? Oh, that is such a good idea. I think you mean this, and if you mean this, I very much agree, and I think it's a genius idea. But I think some can look really cute, actually. Like some Christmas decoration, if it's some fairly basic light strings, or however you call them in English. I always call them light chain, which is not the correct word. I know that, but I don't know any better. But if it's a classic light string, I think that can look great in the winter. If it's actually colorful, tacky Christmas decoration, then goddamn, yes, please, horrible. Oh my god, that this... Sunny, was this what you meant? Because if this is what you meant, you're an absolute genius. This looks so sketchy and run down just due to those ugly ceiling lights. I love it. This has been the absolute right call of you. In fact, we should remove the pretty lanterns in front of the hotel and have all of this just have lighting through these horrible, uncomfortable ceiling lights. Maybe I'm doing something different than what Sunny meant, but I love this. In fact, I kind of forgot about this. I think this is a really cool asset that we've gotten. I don't even remember what patch. I think the patch prior to Bridges and Ports is where we've gotten this from, and I love it. The question is if we do that in both levels as well, because wholeheartedly that looks great. I guess we should do that in the bottom level as well. And here is me thinking we're gonna finish this strip mall today, finally. But then I guess I did not expect us to do this much small detail things today anymore. So maybe Jay was right questioning how soon we're gonna do the shooting range. Yeah, I was gonna say what is happening here, but that's just me placing a star cube block really badly, so cannot blame anybody but myself. Which I'm not a fan of, so instead of blaming myself, I'm gonna blame Gaga instead. Gaga, why is this like it is? You did this and I'm not happy with it. I mean, it's only visible in the correct angle, only if you're from here. But from here, I think this looks so beautifully trashy, you know? With those run-down outside lights. They also have a way nicer light color than all of the vanilla lights that we have in the game. Because really, compare the light color, even from those uncomfy fabric kind of ceiling lights to the street lanterns. The street lantern is so cold and powerful in comparison. I just don't love it. But yes, I guess now we started it. We have to do it on this side as well. And in theory, we should also do it on the back side, facing away from the parking lot. But I think we're gonna at least save that for today. Or revisit that later, but I want to actually make some progress on the back alley behind us strip mall as well. And I never noticed this. That is a vanilla sign. And that is a 10 out of 10 sign. And if this is not a very fitting Los Vagos sign, then I don't know what is, because I agree, in Los Vagos you should very much make sure that you lock your vehicle during the night. And obviously we're also not liable for any damages here in Los Vagos, so wholeheartedly I agree with everything there. The question is, because I think these lanterns actually look kind of fancy. And I think they look a bit too fancy for what we want. Can we manage to make this plaza even trashier with just keeping those lights? And now, what happens if we go ahead and place some below the bridge? God damn it, I'm struggling with the camera. Maybe that's a bit overkill and it's gonna look weird, but I at least wanna check it. Maybe we have to replace the lanterns we just removed. But they seem so trashy light-wise that if they are strong enough, they don't really make it far enough. They don't really light up anything there. Well, see, this model is a bit of a weird one, because we have a pool and everything. But this model looks very trashy and weird from the outside. But it's just to scare unknown people away. Because then if you look at the actual roof terrace of the hotel, you have a nice, lovely bar over here. And then you have this actually goddamn hecking fancy roof pool and whirlpool area and hot tub area and everything. This is where people who know, is mainly my friends, to be honest. If you're friends with the president and the mayor of Los Vagos, then this is where you go. It has very bad Google reviews, so most people who come to the city wouldn't go here. But then I think it's very nice to go here. It just looks shitty from the outside to scare people away. But yes, I do think we need those lanterns back there. It looked better having these here than what we have right now. And I think these were a shitty idea, so we're gonna go ahead and delete both of these. Now I'm happy in general, otherwise I very much agree, and I think we need more shitty and rundown hotels, but most of Los Vagos is so rundown that I need to make sure that we're not entirely rundown everywhere, and have some cute and nice parts of it as well, at least. Is this fine light-wise? This looks fine light-wise, right, in the night? This place, actually, I've been thinking that before. This place definitely needs some light still, but we can revisit in a moment. But this place, I think, is perfectly fine during the night. So careful, flashbang incoming. We're gonna make this light again. And I don't think there is too much left to do here anymore. A few of the things I would like to do is obviously not only placing nice light, but what we have a lot too little is trash bins. I really wish we'd had a few more of these trash bins. Some of these look great, but we have so little of them that I do think it's very hard to give areas a unique vibe with those. They do feel very repetitive in all areas. But I guess all of those complaints that I have in that regard right now, I will not have for a long time, because soon asset editor. And then I guess all of these problems solve itself. I'm really curious about the quality of CS2 assets we'll be seeing when the asset editor comes out. Because Andy, I'm curious, if you would look at CS1 assets, and you would give me a number and say 30% of all assets are really nice quality and there is a lot of garbage as well? Or is that number too low? Would you say more than 30% is really nice? Because especially at the start, when stuff comes out, I think we will have both. We probably have a few creators with amazing assets prepared since a long time and gonna put all of those out. But I'm also sure that we got a lot of like ported low quality CS1 models in the mod store. I hope not, but then I would be very surprised if that's not the case. In fact, I think probably in the first week of the asset editor, we're all gonna be busy just sorting through which assets are good and which are absolutely horrible. %30 is fair. I mean, honestly, that's not a bad number. Because I assume there will also be an absolute shitload of assets in total, so 30% of that will definitely help. And I mean, actually looking at the calendar, I would expect that they put out a date sometime soon as well, no? Because they officially confirmed that we're getting it this year, which is pretty much exactly 1 month left. So within the next 33 days, I guess we should have it. Which on the one hand makes me very happy, on the other hand actually makes me a bit scared, because I would assume that Los Vagos is not gonna be doing well or any healthy at the moment we get the editor. Oopsala, I did not mean to click that. I got scared whenever I clicked that on accident. I think, oh my god, we're crashing. Which luckily we didn't, but yeah, still scary. And back here, I guess we also need a dumpster or two back here, and I would definitely want to have some normal deliveries here in the back as well, where we just have a few transporters bringing stuff in. that is a fair point, because yeah, you're right, they will be in holidays at least over Christmas, and then probably in between the years as well. So yeah, very fair point. So they actually have like 20 days left to give us the editor. And if they are clever, I would hope they don't release the editor in the day they leave office. Because if they would do so and something is wrong with the game, then we will have to wait till they're back in office for any fixes. Which, I mean, there is a saying for a reason. You say never launch anything on a Friday because you're out of office, and I guess prior to holidays that is an even bigger part. So that would mean, I doubt it, probably we will drop it and then immediately go to holidays, but in an optimal world where they are still there a few days to make sure that they can potentially fix stuff at least, that would quite literally mean that they have like 12 days left in the optimal timeline. Obviously, most likely it's gonna be more. But yeah, again, in an optimal timeline where they have a bit of room to patch out important issues, they have something like 12 days. So yeah, we're actually close. And I do think people are way too little excited about it. I think because the news of the editor kinda came hand in hand with the sad and kinda hurtful goodbye of Colossal Order. That the asset editor itself was not as appreciated as it otherwise would have been. But yeah, 12 days and we get what we were waiting for since game launch, I guess. I wasn't waiting since game launch because I wasn't playing the game back then, but most of you guys were. This corner is a bit unclean. I actually want to fix that. I was thinking if we need to, but yeah, the more I look at this, I don't like it. We're going to take a very small brush and bring it a lot weaker. 15 already is enough. That looks a lot better. I hate these unclean corners, and with that, wholeheartedly, prop-wise, I think that's at least good enough. On this side, maybe here we need a bit more, and then I think it's basically just a few people and props, and then the back looks a lot less boring. Obviously we will have to go in with a bit props and graffiti as well, but then I do think this build is pretty much done. Whenever I say that, I bite my tongue 5 minutes later and find like 100 things I still wanna do, so don't trust me. Anytime I say we're done soon with a build, it's generally a lie. Not because I mean to lie to you guys, but just because I always find more things I want to fix up still. And it's curious, I expected a lot more people in my chat to complain about my map theme, because this is not a Los Vagos map theme. Los Vagos is not supposed to be on this map theme. I just forgot to switch this after working on my map, and I quite like this in Los Vagos. I don't think we should switch in Los Vagos, because all of our decals are adjusted to the theme we had before, so this gives a bit worse matches in blendings and such than we had before, but still, I would have expected more people to bitch about my theme than it happened. So quite happy with that. And I'm not sure if Rizara is still here, but I know Rizara. I own you decals. I own you in specific these decals. I will try my best to get those out soon. I just have not been playing Los Vagos, and not playing Los Vagos, I didn't really feel to release something. But I know I have these done on my PC since such a long time, and you said you would like to have them. I've not forgotten about it. I feel guilty and sorry about not having released them yet. I've not forgotten. I will try to get those out this week. I don't promise anymore because I've let you down in the past, so I will not say I will release them this week, but I will try my best. And then if I don't manage, you're invited to shame me. Is that a fair deal we're having here? This is very weird, because this shouldn't be happening. This should be flat, but it doesn't matter. We can just hide this unclean part up with a bit of graffiti. It's still gonna look kinda weird, but whatever. I'm too lazy to fix this up appropriate. I love these monsters. I don't know why. I also love any kind of these monster graffiti in real life, so there is a reason that I love them so much. But goddamn do I love word monster graffiti like this. So yeah, I really need to release those. Because the monster ones, they are perfectly fine. I've been playing with all of these for a while now, and all of those work perfectly fine. So really, only reason they have not been out is because we didn't play Los Vagos. And then when we went back to playing more Los Vagos, I didn't want to immediately go in and take screenshots, but actually play the game a bit. But now we did play the game a bit, now I don't have any excuses anymore. I don't want this super dirty. I think this is already perfectly fine. Maybe we want one big piece. Oh, which even is big. One of these should be pretty big. This one. Yes, we want one big piece on this wall. And then the back, I think, is perfectly fine. Can hit a few more things on the front. I'm very happy. I'm not sure how long it's gonna hold, but I'm sure most of you guys know Crumpsy. Crumpsy used to play the game a lot, and I think at least for a while has been a bit turned off by the game, but recently has been started playing again, and god, I love Crumpsy builds. So very happy to see that Crumpsy seems to be playing the game a bit more again. And hope that that holds a bit this time. I'm also curious, once we get the asset editor, how many of the disgruntled creators are gonna come back to the game, because again, I'm still fairly new to the community. I've not seen that many, but every once in a while when somebody recommends me CS1 or CS2 creators that have been active at the start when it released and then kinda rage quit since, there is a lot of people that actually kinda, I guess, stop playing. And maybe the asset editor is gonna be the moment where a few of them come back and revisit the game with us. Because I think if it goes well, at least, it's one of the reasons why I'm saying I really hope they don't patch and go into holidays and leave us with a bit of a mess over the holidays, because even if they then perfectly fix everything after the holidays, that kind of breaks hype in those cases, right? But if they nail it and the editor is super good and everybody is having a blast, then I would imagine that some of the old creators that turned their back to Cities return. And for me, that would be very cool because I'm fairly sure I don't know any or most of them. So I would actually get to have a few new creators that I've never even seen anything of, that surely are more talented and better at the game than I am. Okay, graffiti-wise, I think this is perfectly sufficient. Maybe a few small ones still here in the back of the hotel, because this is kinda hidden away, or you could draw very easily, and then here, obviously, you have very easy access to the top as well. So something like this seems appropriate. Obviously, StarQ always trashing our build, even though we try to make this really beautiful, then people like StarQ come in here and ruin everything. Sadly, nothing we can do against it. But yes, I guess now graffiti-wise we're perfectly fine. And that last thing before I want to do some glass-based level decal work and place sims is that I think what looks very nice in these shop fronts and makes the world of a difference if you go in and place a few smaller signs around the area and give this a bit more life. In fact, as always, when I say we're nearly done, I think I was wrong again. We should also place a bit more commercial shops in the entire area. Big, then we have a smaller one, we have this, and I guess we should also go away from these signs and take either the ones from Red Kool-Aid or Suli, because both of them are a bit more modern than my signage is. And generally I think I prefer my signage because it fits our build better, but then this is a very modern area of the build, so I think here it's also more appropriate to use a modern kind of signage. Hold on, this actually is too big. Sad. If we could have fit this nicer in the window here, kinda. We're gonna the base not super clean, but right about works, I think. It's crazy how good this pack still is. One of the very first good packs that got uploaded to the game. Red Kool-Aid not only is a great creator, but he's really good at making these kind of things. In fact, I wish he would have released a lot more of them. But while Red Kool-Aid is an absolute genius creator and makes amazing builds, he also never struck me as the most technically aware person to phrase this the nicest way I can, I guess. So I think he always had a bit of struggle with making decals and such, and while I often offered him to help, the man does want to do the stuff himself, and then he struggles with doing it himself, and we end up not getting any of the decals. Maybe now he seems to be back. This time we can try to offer him the same thing again. Because I know that Red Kool-Aid has a lot of cool decals that he's never released in his computer still. And I wish we could get our hands on some of those, because his stuff is amazing. That would also be sick. The truth though is, like, I think with Red Kool-Aid, you have to tell him, hey, I'm gonna do it for you. And then he does not want you to do that, and he's gonna be like, yeah, no, I can't let you do anything for me for free. So you tell him, I'm gonna do it for you, and you have to pay me money. It's really expensive, and you owe me, I don't know, $1.25. So he feels like he's not getting any work for free, because the man is an upstanding dude who wants to not let people do something for free for him. But then I think he also has too much to do it himself. So if we find a middle way, like what I just said, and I think that's probably the perfect place for both sides to be happy with. All right, here we go. I think signage-wise and everything, that's perfectly fine. I think in general, this is pretty much where we want this build to be. So one thing I want to do, but not very much, is place a few sims. Generally, this area sees a shitload of usage by itself. So we don't really need to place much in random positions to make this be alive. But mainly close to these storefronts where people would actually be shopping, I guess, is where I'd like to have a few people. And then saying this, there is one thing that we should do prior to placing these people, and it's what I wanted to do real quick. So maybe we can properly make use of some of these as well. We need some of those newspaper stands, and mainly I want some of the outside, I don't even know how you'd call them, product displays? Probably not the right way to describe what I mean, and where are they? I never understand why some things you can only find in the vanilla UI and some things you can only find in the Find It UI, but always a bit confusing to me. Alright, Gaga, thank you so much for tuning in and have a nice night. And sweet dreams, sweet dreams. But yes, Dre, I think you should keep pushing Kool-Aid to do that, because yeah, I've never used the radio in Cities 2, I think. Outside of when I started streaming, and I did not know that I can just play whatever music I want to. But if there would be a Red Kool-Aid channel, then that surely would change, because goddamn, that would be amazing to listen to. Did Kool-Aid already do, I don't even know that, did Kool-Aid already do content for CS1? Or is he also one of the people who joined with CS2 in the community? Because if he also did CS1 content, then I actually should have a look at that, because I have never seen. He has a CS1 series. Okay, actually I really... Like, that's good, I'm asking, because I will check that out after stream then. Not the world, a bit lazy, but I already think even a bit lazy and rushed like this with the outside displays, it does make a big difference in these commercial places. Here, even in front of the TJ Maxx, probably a closing display is spot on as well. I don't mind so much if he did assets for it. I I just want to see the series, so as long as he put it up on YouTube, then that's perfectly fine and what I would wish for. And a very last thing, I want an ATM. Is that in the same category here? I think so. Yeah, I want one of these wall ATMs here. Maybe even a second wall ATM somewhere in this side. Nice. Okay, that is it. Now we can go back to some quick sims, because I figured while we place this, we should have the props down first, so we can actually put the people accordingly to the props we've been placing and put some looking at the stands in this place. But again, we have a lot of movement in this place, so I really only want to place a few ones as a detail and display here. Yeah, I'm so curious. I guess one of the reasons why I did not check at that is that when I found Red Kool-Aid, I was still so new to the cities community that I did not know many people, and I felt like there is so much CS2 series that I still wanted to watch and have a look at, that I didn't even think about CS1 content to check out. But nowadays I feel the opposite. I don't think there is that much CS2 series that I always follow along, and I would totally be interested to check out Kool-Aid CS1 stuff. Alright, and add the person here getting a card. And that is perfectly fine for prop work and sim work on this side. And then here we can place a few random people. The question is benches. I guess we should add a few benches, especially here in the front, where this is a bit plaza-like. Because looking at this still seems a bit empty. Yeah, the more I look at it, I do want a few, not many, but a few benches. Some pretty boring, clean ones, because this is a kind of boring, clean place. And again, not too many. This is not like a park or anything where people would love to hang out. But for the few people who are walking in the US, need a place for them to have a rest as well. This already is fine, and really here I think it's a bit too tight. There we don't really need benches. The one place I wouldn't mind 2 benches is here on this side to make that a bit more lively. And here again, I think it's a bit too cramped, but here and here maybe. And then we're back to placing sims, and after that it's really just a few decals and we're done with this. Which I know this took a long time, but also guys, this is gonna look so beautiful, especially if we turn the night off. And I love the contrast between this very commercial, kinda urbanish street mall, and then this very much more rural US kinda food court, kinda rest stop across. So I think especially in the combination, those two will work incredibly well. Even with the mine in the background, I think all of this is coming together very nicely. Which I'm very unsure about is all of this corner. Actually, Jay, I wanted to show you something, because you gave us another new build idea that we also need to finish outside of the gun range that we're diving into. You reasonably correctly pointed out that I'm yet to use a Fragan church. One of the reasons is that most of the Fragan churches I don't think are such a great fit for Los Vagos. Not because they're not absolutely stunning and amazing assets, but because they don't fit our architecture style too well. This one, meanwhile, stunning and perfect. This fits Los Vagos really well. I think it looks very rural. So I decided that this church is a great reason for us to start building out the hillside here a bit, because I actually think this is a really nice place to have a few nice mansions maybe up here with a nice view over the farms, and then here to have a cemetery and a church. And I would have not thought about that, but since you pointed out that we need to use a Fragan church, and that is correct, I figured where can we do so? And we have to rebuild this a little and condense this a bit and move it over so we have enough space to bring a road alongside here and get onto all of this hillside area. But this is also one of the things that after the gun range we will be tackling. And really, I think this area is going to be one of my favorite ones in the city, because can it be any more American than the holy trinity of religion, guns, and shitty entertainment? I think really we have the entire essence of the United States within this single small area of the city here later on. So big fan, and great you pointed that out, because now we're also gonna build that in future. Which I was hoping that we make some more progress on this side of the city, but I think we're gonna get pulled back to that side of the city instead. Yeah, I've seen that, and I do want to use that. The truth is just that first we need to do the Fragan church, just because that church is amazing, and I know that I'm at least partly the reason that he made a as US looking church as that one we just looked at, because I asked him for it and then I didn't even use it yet, which in the past has been mainly due to us not really playing Los Vagos after he published it. But now we're playing Los Vagos, now I really want to use that one as well. But I agree, there is another new ploppable that also looks really nice. In general, because I didn't really look at any of the B&P stuff and most of the new assets we've gotten yet, because I didn't play very much. I had a bit of a look off stream on some of the assets, and again, we can take a quick break here and I show you, because this is gonna be one of the next things we're diving into. Some of the gun range assets I'm really excited for. This one I'm a bit unsure about, and you will get a lot of decision power because you bought this gun range before it even existed. I think this is a great building for it. It might be a little too big and it might look a bit too farmy, but the more I think about it, I think this place up here is a perfect indoor pistol shooting range where you have people shooting from here to here or the other way around. And I think from looking at shooting ranges, I think quite a few of those also have indoor areas. And what I like so much about it is this, because I think if we use this building, again, you're involved in this and you can decide with us. But if we use this building, I think this is an amazing entrance, right? Where I would literally use this as a main entrance for the shooting range. And then we fence and plant up everything else. So if you're going to the shooting range, you have to drive through here. And this is kinda the reception welcome office here in front with maybe a gun shop in it already. And then maybe we even build a second church. I'm not sure if this is the building you were looking at, but I've seen this building and this screams church to me, to be honest. Probably this is the one you meant. I'm curious if this is the one you meant. But this does really scream church to me. So maybe we turn this into a very small church. Maybe we don't, because we have that one across the street. But I think a church on a gun range is a very fitting place. And then this building, probably this is a bit of a German take, and I don't even know how to translate it. This looks like a, I guess clubhouse is the correct translation for it. This really looks like a clubhouse to me. And I think in most German places that would be like a gun range or something like that, you would find a kind of clubhouse where people can also go into, and we don't really need it because we have that big one here. But then my logic is that the distance is at least kinda big to the proper gun range back here. So I think it makes sense to maybe have one of the buildings closer to it, and I think we can turn this into like an entrance and then make a big kinda circle here, where we have maybe the clubhouse, maybe this, and then we have the long range rifle shooting range here, and then we can put a smaller, closer pistol and maybe shotgun range here in the front. I will have to have a look at this a bit more, but I've been playing around with this off stream a bit, as in not building, but maybe looking at options we have and thinking about it. And so far the plan, these two buildings here have nothing to do with the gun range anymore, just because I figured this is a nice place for residential housing, because who would not want to live right next to a gun range if you can? I think most people in the US, you ask, they would say, I want to live right there, right away. Yeah, we need to be a bit careful with getting new ideas right now, because the truth is, I think our time in Los Vagos is not counted. That is a bit too harsh. I don't think I want to give up Los Vagos, but I think Los Vagos might give up itself. I don't want to expect it, but I could imagine that if we get the asset editor, this build does not look very healthy anymore. So I want to try to get the main essence of what I really wanted to build in the build right now, and I want to try get through most things, and then maybe some things get left over in the end. That actually, can you post those numbers in my Discord? Because that is something that will be helpful for me if I start building on that. And preferably you would, well, I guess I can do that myself. If you tell me yards, that exactly means nothing to me, so I will have to translate that to non-freedom units to have that correlate to anything. Because otherwise, right everywhere is really nice for checking sizes really quickly, because you can just take any picture in right everywhere and set it to a certain size, and then take the size of that right everywhere instant and work after it. So I think that should be perfectly fine. Question is this too much? And probably if we have it very visible but very lightly in a very few places, just get this a bit trashier. That's already too much, something like this. Alright, and we're gonna change category, and then as a very end, in a moment, after we put some oil down in the parking lot. Or is that the decal we're looking for? This one, perfect. I think I want to blend a very little on the outside as well, and then I think we're done with decal work here as well. Do you think it's appropriate to have 2 or 3 gun ranges? I guess pistol and shotgun are not together in one, but you have like a pistol range for very close range, and then you have a rifle range and you have a shotgun range? Or would you have two and you combine the pistol and a shotgun? Or you would even do 4 different ones, I guess. One for pistol, one for shotgun, one for rifle, and one for kinda sniper rifle. I'm gonna have to look. One of the things I wanted to do a bit more, because Andy and Clovis both gave me very nice suggestions for gun ranges on Google Maps. And I wanted to have a bit more look by myself as well at some gun ranges. Okay. Yeah, I don't want it to be like too oversized, so I would probably limit it to 3 at maximum 4 different lengths, but that already should be perfectly fine, I think. And in the front here, I'm actually entirely happy. One of the few last things I still want to do, wrong tab, is that we want to place a few vehicles. In general, I think what really adds to the look of builds is people who park illegally, which here is going to be kind of difficult because in general the build is pretty crowded and I don't want to block the foot traffic or anything. But this nice corner here in the back is a pretty solid fit for us to have somebody park illegal, and then here we can put a few people parking as well. And then in the back I would like to have a few delivery trucks. Actually here I think way better than parking smaller vehicles, because it's a proper big supermarket, right? So a proper big supermarket also would get a proper size big truck delivery, I guess. So we should put one actual big truck here. This one we're gonna have to angle a bit because of the terrain. So go down to 1, find the right axis, which looks to be this one. That seems roughly fine. Now put this one very low and then we can adjust this. And I think probably we even want to tip this very slightly. It's not perfect, here is a bit off, but we don't have suspension. It's the best we can do. It already looks better than it looked before. The question is, are we motivated enough? And I guess it's not that much work, so we should be here to throw on the Dollar Tree logo here really quick. We actually did a lot of Ride Everywhere today, which usually I don't tend to do that much Ride Everywhere on stream and do most of it off stream. So gladly call me out if you think this is too boring to watch on stream. I don't have to do that on stream. We can do other things together and I do this off stream. But I think every once in a while is probably also not bad if we do this off stream, so you guys can see how I'm working with Ride Everywhere. Though none of what I do is unique or creative, it's just how everybody would work with Ride Everywhere, I guess. But yes, this is it, and now we just go ahead and we take this one and we copy it and we paste it. We turn this to -90. Oh, I didn't copy it, what the heck? Hold on, and we move this back. Now, I was a bit quick there, my bad. -90, and now we just have to move it on the other side. Really, Ride Everywhere is fairly quick if you don't always do the depth thing, which I think is the nicest thing to do with Ride Everywhere. But for something like this, I do think it's worth it to also throw that in there real quick. And then just because we have this nice truck here, I guess to make this a bit more fitting, we can go ahead and take a few of these boxes. Take a big one here. And then throw a few smaller ones around it, just to make this look a bit more like it's getting unloaded. And we go ahead and place 2 worker cars here actually unloading. Perfect. And now we go back to the backside and place a few last delivery vehicles, and then we are actually done with this. Yes, maybe we should take a simple, smaller one here as well, something like this. And maybe, because I said I think it looks nice to have people park illegally, I guess some of the workers would probably park on the backside here and just their car like this on the side. Don't want to overdo it because we don't want the back to be so full. Again, probably slightly angle this, and then I hate all of the corners. I think I've seen somebody in Suli who done exactly what I've been talking about, what I should do. And it's making a full vehicle color variation pack for cars. And use that through vehicle controller. I should still really do that. It looks really tedious to me, so I always been too lazy, but it would save us a lot of work and it would help the build to look a lot nicer. Because we're already using a vehicle variation pack, and I think these are a lot better than the vanilla colors, but I would like to fine-tune this a little bit still. Okay, and as a last thing, we do what we just did on the other side, because I just think it's cute and fitting. We're gonna go ahead and on this one place a few more boxes here as well, and then a few people. And with that, I think we have our build entirely done. The one thing we're not done with, but it's not something I can fix properly right now, is moving this shitty sign, because we have that weird bug with the sign not moving like we wanted to. I don't know what the solution is to it yet. We can try it again. I think it's, well, first things first, we're gonna save. And I'm gonna try to move this again. It's probably not gonna work. And actually, I'm silly. We need to use this tool because they are overlapping. Please behave. Yeah, no. Have you ever seen this happen, James? Because nobody in my chat said they have seen this happen, and I'm still confused because it seems to be the pillars. Is it because they're on top of each other? Where's the issues with this? I don't understand. Because look, these we can move fine. Look, what is happening? Maybe you were not there when that happened earlier. I made a copy of this sign, right? Which I just moved over here. And for some reason, these meshes do something very weird when we use move it on them. As you see, we took all of the meshes here. I take move it, we're on the prop menu. And if as soon as I try to move it, this entire thing is vanishing into some void, I don't know. It's gone. I also don't have the touchers anymore. I don't. And we tried around. It is not the right everywhere instance. Even if we don't take the right everywhere stuff and we take only these 4 pillars, it's the same thing happening. Look, I move the pillar, it disappears. I've never had this happen in the past with anything ever. I don't fully understand why it's happening here, because we just moved the pillar by itself and that worked. So I wanna try what happens if we have 2 of them on top of each other. At all, I don't understand. If I use these, we're not gonna take all 4 of them. We're just gonna take 2 of the pillars, these 2, and I move them. They are fine. As soon as we take these 2 pillars as well, and I move them, I think they're gonna disappear again. forgot to select that one and selected the bollard instead, or the bollard instead. Yes, see? But I didn't copy it. We don't have copy and paste. I just rebuilt it. I just copied the positions of them. But you can't copy. I just copied the position of all of them, then built it twice on top of each other, and then moved it over 4 meters with the transform tool. I'm wholeheartedly lost, but I guess the answer to this problem is we can fix it. It's a bit annoying, but whatever. I guess we can move all of this by itself. We move these two first and put it here. Now we take these two and move it there. But I don't understand. I'm just confused why this is happening. It's not like it's a giant problem, but I don't like not understanding things. And I 100% not understand what is happening here. Really, I play this game a lot. This is not something I've prior ever had happen to me. And now I placed those a bit too close, which makes getting that one really annoying. So these over here. Take these bows. Jay, you know what I'm gonna answer to it. I wish I could. I wish I could just load into the editor on my main playset without having to change playset back and forth. I would love to do so, but that's not a feasible option till the editor is less buggy and broken than it currently is. It's so weird. See, it happens again. As soon as I move these 4 together, I can move 2 of them. But as soon as I move 4 of them together, it starts absolutely bugging out with these elements. I'm wholeheartedly so confused. I guess not a problem for us. We just move them one by one. Move these up first. And now we need to, again, these are both overlapping, so we always need to take the marquee tool, but now we move this. And I should have turned this, because I don't want to have it where it is, but I'm too lazy to do that again. I'm gonna put this sign properly together off stream. I really just wanted to show you why I'm so confused about it, because that's a bug I've never seen happen prior. And I see that there is an ad break in 50 seconds, and I'm streaming for 2.5 hours and did not have a break yet. So I will send you guys on a cute small road trip while I go run to the toilet and grab something to drink. I should be back in like 5 minutes or something, if I can find a good vehicle to send you on a road trip with. Are you a sheriff? Damn it. Because generally we want a sheriff or a road maintenance vehicle, because they drive the longest and I'm not seeing either. Oh, there we go. Finally. Nice. Okay, then I'm sorry for the ad break and I should be back in 5 minutes. I wish you guys a nice road trip. Alright, I'm back. I never paid attention to that. They actually do the selfie emote a lot more now. I've even seen people on Reddit complain, but I have not seen that myself yet, that they do selfies in the middle of the road, which does not seem optimal, but also not unrealistic in nowadays time and age, I guess. And Urban, why are you still not a Cities player? Now you have your nice new computer. What excuse do you have not to play the best game with us together? Obviously, you don't need any excuse and you should play whatever you find the most fun. But since you like Transport Fever so much, I would be very surprised if you would not have a lot of fun in Cities as well. One quick thing I want to fix is that we definitely need some proper light in this place here as well. What is that other project? But the way you phrase that, it sounds like you wanna try Cities in future. I think we might actually take this. It has such a different light color. Yeah, no, never mind. We're gonna have to stay true to this one. Sadly, because the light color is gonna be different otherwise, and I don't want that light color to change. So sadly, we're a bit limited in that regard. Well, I'm not sure. I've been trying to get him to. And I would really like Art to play Cities, because I think Art has fun streams. And I also obviously enjoy your non-city streams. But I think Cities is the best game out of all of the weird city simulator builder games. Otherwise, I would not be playing Cities either. And as much as I sometimes give this game slack that it totally deserves, I do think it's incredibly fun. And I'm not sure if Clovis is still here. Probably not, but if Clovis is still here, I actually have something I want to show Clovis. Because he was talking about something that last time that I wanted to show him something about. But that last time Clovis watched, I think we were in the editor instead of properly playing the game. So I could not show easily and quickly what we were doing in Cities, but Clovis and me, we were talking about the Star Cube building blocks and how cool they are to make functional buildings together, or like functional ploppables that actually work. And he used a road depot as example, and I have this road depot and I love it because this thing works. It's our only road depot in Las Vegas itself, and it is literally just these 3 parking lots and they're mostly out. I think it's so cool that we can finally build pretty complexes like these and don't have to work with a pre-finished one. I also think so, but I in general think they made a lot of progress in that regard. I don't even remember which patch it was that I think gotten very underappreciated. I think maybe it was even the patch before Bridges and Ports. Because there was a patch where they changed very few things in the game only, but they changed quite a lot of underlying simulation things. And my traffic and everything's gotten way better. And yeah, they did the same again. Like, my city is way more alive. I feel like I need to place a lot less sims. I will always play sims, because, well, we can't have them go into our restaurants or anything like that yet. But in general, I very much agree with you, Riza, that it seems so much more alive in the cities. And I hope that's something they keep doing. Because one of the few fond memories of CS1 I have, and you guys know I'm not the biggest CS1 fan, but one of the things I loved about CS1 was all of the stadiums and sport complexes having people in them, being attended, having something going on, people actually playing in the courts. It makes such a giant difference for how you perceive and look at the builds. So I really hope that's something that they will dive back into in the future. Though also the signs for that, I believe, stand pretty good because they added a shitload animation-related things in this update, which many of them are not yet used. I agree with you that also the cities have gotten more alive since this patch, but I believe that's probably something that in any of the future patches is gonna continue to happen, where they start using a few more animations, or where they start adding a few more things where we see proper movement on. And here we're gonna do the same thing we did the last thing, just to keep it realistic. The women toilet, obviously, as any women's toilet ever, has a gigantic, horrible, long line in front of it. And then right next door we have the men's toilet, where there is a single guy who wants to go in and can do so right away. Yes, I agree. It's one of the reasons, and welcome in Nine-Eyed Ron, or Nine-Eye Ron, sorry for butchering that. One of the reasons why I play so many of those sims, right? Which I don't think is optimal. I wish I would not have to do this, and clearly this is not fully the kind of life we'd want to, because they just stand around like idiots. But even them just standing around like idiots adds a lot of life already, and then if we have more people moving by itself as well, yeah, it can only get better from here as well. So I mean, the bad news is, or at least in my case, whenever I'm around with my cutie, the problem is, even though as a man you don't have to wait while going into the toilet, are you winning that much? Because you just go on the toilet real quick, but then you still have to wait for your girlfriend, who's still standing in that line for the next 15 minutes. So it's not like you gain that much time. I guess you gain a lot of time when you're by yourself, but then if I'm not by myself, then I'm still waiting regardless of how long my line is. Was that a thing in CS1, where actually on game days in the stadiums, they've gotten different traffic as well? So if you have because if so, I would love that. I know that people in general have been often saying they want more traffic, and I totally agree. But I mainly would like traffic to feel more alive in different situations. I want my traffic to sometimes be empty and bare bones, and then in other times I want exactly what you're saying, Riza, is where I want an event and I want my entire city grid blocked. But I guess in CS2 that's not the thing. And with the kids, actually, they changed something. I think I talked about this already the last time, and I think it's a great change, because it looks good, but you need to be a bit more careful. Most of them now wear a backpack, which I think for school kids, super fitting and a great idea. But then if you just put down random kids in a playground, you don't want all of them to wear backpacks, so you need to be a bit more careful while placing them down, that you check that they look appropriate. Something I'm doing here, biggest thing I can only always recommend to people who like detailing in this game. If you play Sims, make use of elevation. It's one of the biggest things you can do to make stuff alive. I'm gonna take a second example here, if I can get it to look somewhat alright. Let's find a second one without backpack. This gentleman, and we're gonna try to very carefully, maybe we have to manually move him up there, maybe we can manage to place him. We can manage to place him. It will look a bit weird, because yeah, he's still kinda just standing there, but he's just a very cool kid. He does not need to hold on to something. He's one of the big kids already. He can stand up there like a badass, not holding on to something. And I think if you look at it from a bit of distance, it's what really gives this life, right? That you have people actually using the things and not standing around. And yes, we are kinda limited in how well we can do that, but if you can get away with making things look used and alive, then I would say always try so. Obviously, it would be cool if we could also get something like the slides to look used, but again, we cannot have anything but standing people, so we're pretty limited. Yeah, you are correct. No, that did change. They changed quite a lot of things with the Sims. One of the most notable changes to me, sadly a change I don't like. I don't think it's a bad change, but it makes them a bit unfitting, because in general we always used the homeless people as our police officers. And not only do the homeless people now have a bit different clothing, the clothing is prior to this was kinda entirely black, which looked more officer-like, but also now they've gotten these hoods. And sadly, these hoods, while I think they look good, and actually I like them, they make them very unfitting as a police officer. I sadly don't think this guy looks like a police officer anymore. This guy obviously totally looks like police officer, but then yeah, the people with their hoods, I guess undercover police officers or corrupt Los Vagos police officers, we can get away with that in Los Vagos, but yeah, I know that quite a few people, including myself, have been using them as kinda service personnel and workers, and for that the hoods definitely are not the greatest of fits. And I don't know why these keep reappearing. I deleted them so many times already. I don't want this ugly vanilla signage here. Sir, get lost and please don't come back. You're not wanted. Well, see, my issue, because I agree, my issue with the real life mods is two. Is one, that I'm just scared to adjust the simulation too much, because who knows what they fix and change in future. So any very complex simulation mod bears a high level of risk in my eyes, and I'm not willing to take that risk. And the second is that they're very heavy. Like, I've been looking at a few of the real life mods, and everybody who I've been talking about it with said that it makes their game run a lot slower, which makes sense, right? Because one of the most complex things in the calculation of this game is pathfinding, is all of the requests we're doing. And then yes, if a mod basically adjusts a lot of the pathfinding and adds a lot of pathfinding, that will make the game run heavier and less smooth. So those two reasons together is why I don't use them, but I agree, if more of that would be in the base game, I would love it. Like, really different kind of... Even something as silly as Black Friday, where suddenly What we had as a shopping bug a while ago, please add the shopping bug back, but not 24/7, just sometimes. Make it once a month where there is Black Friday and suddenly everybody gets crazy and tries to go to all of the shopping places and try to buy everything, and you have your roads gridlock and go crazy. Such a cool idea. But yeah, it's a bit boring that everything is so continuous. And I think, because after the bridges and ports, I went in and I reloaded quite a lot of assets and updated them with the asset updater mod. I think we had quite a lot of signage pop back up from businesses that is not wanted. Don't be surprised that I delete quite a bit of them. We don't want that ugly signage, so we will keep yeeting those out if we see any of those that aren't wanted. What do you mean? That the traffic gets more? Oh god, these LODs of some of these sims are wholeheartedly painful. Like, it's so close, and look how horrible it looks. Especially in the medium LOD is the worst one. If we zoom a bit further, it gets a tad better again. But what the fuck is this? I guess so. I don't know, because I never used any of those sim mods, so I don't know if you could adjust them for specific times. I would imagine that is doable. But then again, since I think that's actually a difference between CS1 and CS2 in some regard, because I think in CS2 using sim mods is very risky just because they still somewhat regularly adjust the simulation, right? I think in CS1 that's probably quite a bit less of a problem, because the game is a lot more finished, so it's not like they will suddenly change something very fundamental or game breaking in the simulation. So I think you are more free to actually use simulation mods, while in CS2 I would really advise against that, at least currently. If you really care about your save, and I do expect my saves to die eventually because we're modding so much and using a lot of things that are not officially supported yet, but we don't have to make the risk even bigger than it already is by itself anyway, right? So any save mod for me is a no-no. And I was just gonna say, why are we stand locked like this? Or why is our traffic blocked like this? But here is the answer. Because people don't know how to drive. I'm so sad. One of the mods I wish we had, maybe we even have a mod like that, because I would like to see more of the accidents. I would love a mod that notifies me when an accident happens somewhere, so I can pause my game and go there real quick and look at the actual accident happen. But I guess that's not really a thing. And looking at this area, I think this entire block here I want to redo, because we've gotten quite a lot of good buildings that I like. And the church, I think, looks way better, where I showed it to you guys earlier. One of the places I would like to dive into a little is this, because I think here we done very solid base detailing, where I quite like the layout and everything we did. But we not have really ever detailed anything of this properly, nor placed decals. And today, which in general in weekends, I think my chat is slower than it usually is during weekdays. So I think it's a good moment for us to get something done. I can't stream that long anymore, but maybe we can dive into this area here a bit and make some progress to finish this up a little further than it is right now. And then the next stream, I cannot keep postponing it anymore. The next stream we're finally fully gonna dive into this, so Jay finally gets his shooting range. But yeah, we actually finished something today. We finished this entire cute build. And even kinda finished up this part, which we had pretty much finished, but jumped over a little. And then this part is just the one block that's really jumping out. I'm not lying, Jay, at least not on purpose. I'm just always slower than I think I am as a builder. So I always anticipate that I can finish a certain build. So I tell you the next time we're gonna do more this and that, but then I place 1,000 more decals and sims and props than I wanted to. So it doesn't always happen as quick as I imagine it to. Is that because I wanna lie to you? Partly. Sure, I enjoy lying to you and it's something I very much enjoy. Is it only that and me trying to be a bitch? No, it's not only that, it's only partly that, but it's also a problem of me having proper time management. I mean, you watch my stream all the time. How often have you seen me look at a specific part of a build and be like, hey guys, we're done with this in 5 minutes? And then we were done with it after 2.5 hours? Because there always is something you still can do. Like, every single of my builds I could revisit and detail even more, add even more, place even more. I can never finish. And am I tripping and they made some of these meshes also more accurate? Maybe I've never looked at it so close. Was that skateboard always looking this crisp up here? I don't think so.
That's what she said.
I think I already said that the last time. I hate the delay. I'm so sorry for you guys, because really, I know you guys have great comedic timing with all of the that's what she said. But the bot is so slow that sadly you guys are always missing the moment. Which I know it's a bot fault, not your fault, but sadly it ruins it a little at least. And I don't think I can make that quicker, because I know that most other people are suffering of the same issue. And me being bad on Twitch, not very surprising. Other people generally not as bad as Twitch as I am. Which one is really small? I would like to have one here on the gate, but the gate is smaller than most of them, so we actually need a very tiny one. I think this one, yeah, the smallest one fits. I mean, I've seen people who never been on Twitch in their life who are better at Twitch than I am, so really, that's not a very big challenge. But Jay, I think you can also relate, because I know I'm not great at Twitch or anything, but then I'm also German, so for me life is a lot more difficult than for normal people. I suffer of being German, and that comes with its own limits. So I think to some regard you need to be more forgiving with me. Not because I'm not bad at things, I totally am. But then I also have a very serious condition. And I know you can relate because you suffer of the same condition. You also have Germanism, and it's something a lot of people suffer of, and is a serious illness that shouldn't be joked about, really. I mean, if you want, I can buy a camera. I never want to show my face because I don't want my Twitch connected to any of my real life. But I can totally buy a hot tub and stream from the hot tub without showing my face for you. if that gets you excited, then I don't want to stand in your way, really. In fact, I think maybe that is something that Cities has been desperately missing. Maybe it's finally time for city streamers to jump onto the hot tub meta, and we need more bikini streams in the city community. Like, how excited would it be seeing, I don't know, Con's next stream in a bikini from his pool, for example? I would say very exciting. We already had a twist one, don't we? Yeah, we have even that exact same one, so not a second twist. Wow, Andy immediately trying to take advantage of me. Next thing, Andy is gonna ask me if he can be my OnlyFans manager. I'm not saying I feel taken advantage of, but kinda. And maybe we can even find a nice place here where we can use, because I promised Riza as well that we're gonna release those decals soon. So maybe we can find a nice wall here where we can use one of these to get a nice screenshot later on. And I guess the most fitting wall here for a proper mural would be this one. This one is a bit too big. Yeah, I need to. One of the reasons why I did not release it is that I thought my sizes were perfect, but then when I was playing with them, I realized that quite a bit of the sizes of this pack are not yet optimal. So one of the reasons I did not release yet is because I think I need to readjust the sizes a bit more. And I can tell that again when I'm playing right here. There is a few too many small ones. We also have a few very big ones, but it's too many small ones, and I want to make more of them bigger than they are currently.
That's what she said.
I mean, don't make me cry on stream, Andy, but yeah, maybe that's what she said. I actually like it. It's maybe a bit too colorful, but we need screenshots for this pack, so if we can overuse it a bit, then I'm not against it. So we're gonna use all of these, and then we're gonna put a few more proper normal graffiti on it. And I guess I should also even use a few more of the monsters, so we get some screenshots of that pack in as well. Because also for these, we will need some screenshots, so we're gonna go ahead and place a few of those, well, mainly cute monsters, some of them less cute monsters. I would not call this one specifically cute. And hold on, give me one moment. This song always plays when we're streaming, and it's always annoying because they talk too much in the middle. So I want to remove this from the playlist real quick and skip, and now we will never have to deal with that annoying background talking intro anymore. Andy, this is how I imagine you to look in real life, and if I'm wrong, I don't believe it, because I'm fairly convinced that this is an Andy face reveal. Why are my FPS this bad? What is happening? Why did we just drop down to 8 FPS out of nowhere? Okay, we're fine again, but that just felt like my game nearly crashed. So I'm gonna go ahead and save real quick. Oh yeah, Clovis, if you're here right now, because I tried to show you something, but I think you were lurking at that moment. Have a look at this, because we were talking about the Star Cube blocks and the road maintenance post, right? This is what we built a while ago, like I don't know, like 2-3 weeks ago or something. And it's exactly the same as you showed. It is a perfectly functional road maintenance depot. These are only props, so these don't move, because the same issue as what you said. They generally are out on the road 90% of the time, so it is a bit weird if the parking lots are all empty. So I decided to combine some of the prop ones with some of the working ones. And I think this is a great look, to be honest. And it's so nice to have a cute looking small build like this instead of the ugly vanilla road maintenance depots. So I love it. And it was funny because you were talking about exactly that. But I don't even know if maybe I was in your stream when we were talking about it, or maybe I was streaming map making stuff, but for some reason I couldn't show it to you. But now I can show it to you, because it's quite literally what we were talking about the last time. I just think it's important for people to keep in mind that you can do this, right? Because many of the vanilla assets are really pretty nowadays, and I think we have a lot of good choice. But some of the vanilla ones are also horrible and look awful and should be avoided at all costs. And really, in my opinion, the road maintenance depot is one of the ones that should probably get avoided at all costs, because I think it looks horrible and is way too big. It can look nice if you have a really big build, right? And yeah, it can look fitting, but for a rural build like mine, there is no way that fits appropriate. Yeah, I agree. It just adds so much more flexibility, right? Like the best example for why these blocks are amazing will always and forever be this. Because this is our mine, and yeah, all of you guys know how horrible the actual vanilla specialized industry looks in this game. So to be able to not have to use vanilla specialized industry, but still getting the resources from it, probably is the biggest game changer for me personally and my gameplay we had in a long time. It's actually, I don't know who sent me the link. I think Jay sent me the link of, now I'm gonna make a fool of myself and mess up the name. Avanya, I think Avanya, the CS2 Colossal Order community manager. Or maybe it was not even Avanya. I don't know, you posted a Steam Workshop link. I think it was of Avanya. And I had a look at it, and goddamn, not only are there like 1,000 released assets, it also looks like she or he, I have to admit, I don't even know, but made a lot of functional assets that work very modular. And I think that's super cool. Like, I looked at many of the assets, and there was a lot of like modular recycling center, for example, which I guess were kind of similar to how the new cemetery works, where a lot of the upgrades you can freely place and kind of build your own thing in it. And I did not know that that was a thing in CS1, and I think that's really cool, because one of my probably irrational fears about the editor is that it takes away a bit of the skill of us builders, because part of what comes with having little options right now also is that to make a great build you need to be very creative in how you work with the little you have available. And sometimes I was scared that if we have everything available, it's gonna be easier to like make really nice builds for everybody. But and not easier to make really nice builds for everybody is a silly wording. It's not correct to what I want to say. I more mean that if the assets are such a big part of the build, that the build get more same-ish and similar to each other. And I think that even if the assets are just modular to each other, that really changes the dynamic in that. Because, yeah, if it's modular, even though me and, I don't know, Sunny are using the exact same asset in our build, since we adjust it so different, I think it will seem very different. And I was not aware that there is so many modular assets, so big fan of that. Yeah, no worries, Clovis. Thanks so much for tuning in. I have to be honest as well, and probably we're in the last few minutes of my stream, because it's about to hit roughly 1 o'clock here, and it's not like I'm gonna go to sleep right after stream. I wanna snack something small and chill a bit before I head to bed as well. So, soon, I just want to progress a very little on this one, because really, I think this block is so far that I don't think we need to do the world here. It's mainly throwing down some decals, but I can do that off stream. But yes, have a nice night, Clovis, and good luck with your bot. You've been doing a lot with Streamer bot, right? Maybe Clovis is gone already, but maybe I need to ask Clovis something about StreamerBot, because I use StreamerBot for a single thing, and it's pinging my Discord when I start streaming, but that has never worked automatically. I do that manually every single time, which I still like, because it looks professional and looks like it's a bot, but the bot doesn't actually work. I do that manually every single time. Because I'm apparently not clever enough to get a webhook to work. Yeah, I guess I should shoot both of you a message then and ask nicely if you could have a look at what I did wrong. Because I clearly have not managed to set it up the correct way. It's a bit too much the same. I think these we all like, and here we have so much place that we can either use a different planter or maybe something. I think just different plant. Oops, I did not mean to place that. But yeah, I think just different planters should probably be perfectly enough already. And how come you guys prefer StreamerBot over FireBot? Because I always found FireBot to be nicer. I just use StreamerBot for the things that FireBot can't do. But for everything that FireBot can do, I would rather use FireBot, I think. And I think, Jay, I've told you this many times in the past already, but I can only repeat myself in this. Even though these are probably some of your very quickest and easiest assets you've ever built, these planters are such a game changer, because even with all of the additional planters you gave us, I think we have way too little planters in the game, and I wish we had more variation. But without your planters, goddamn, absolute horrible choice in this game with way too little different planters. So yeah, very much appreciated. As you can see, every time you watch my stream, I use your planters all day, every day, and I consider them to be very mandatory in playing this game. I mean, be careful, don't let Seribot hear that, because Seribot is the best and favorite bot on this channel ever. I have great moderators on my Discord, like Gaga and Elgando or my girlfriend. And I'm gonna tell you guys, Seribot is the better moderator than all of them. Seribot is amazing. Yeah, I think so. I was also wondering about it, which ones you should put on PDX the quickest. And yes, I would believe the pillars as well. Though you know what, Jay? I think your pillars are gonna be a lot less relevant as soon as we get the editor. Because while your pillars are amazing and really nice to work with, part of that is because we don't have proper alternatives, right? Like your pillars are so nice because there is nothing better out there. But as soon as we have the editor, I'm sure that people will release modular stuff as well that is properly made to assemble different things from. And I would guess that those probably are better than your pillars. Meanwhile, something like planters, I don't think you can do quickly and easily to be better. But I think some of your most favorite asset packs are probably gonna lose quite a lot of relevance when the editor comes out. Others will stay very relevant, but I think the pillars probably is one of the ones that will lose a lot of relevance. Guessing, again, might not be the case, but I would imagine so at least. Because it's not like everybody loves the pillars, right? I don't think everybody's like, oh my god, the pillars are so amazing. They are exactly the perfect asset to build all of this from. It's just that we have no alternative, but once the editor comes, I guess we will have alternative, so... I guess so. Yeah, you do make a fair point, and also what probably I was thinking while I said it as well, one advantage that your pillars will most likely still have and carry across is also that they're a vanilla mesh, so especially for people with weaker machines that need to manage a bit how much custom stuff they can bring into their build, will probably be happy about your pillars cause they are vanilla and lighter. Yes, exactly what you're saying. Not even just less storage space, but also generally like less struggle for the game. I would assume at least that custom meshes will be heavier to load than reusing the vanilla ones. I'm curious, which out of all of your assets packs, if you would have to name the first 5 maybe you were thinking about putting on PDX, which first 5 would you pick from your own packs? Alright, Ron, have an absolute wonderful good night, and thank you for tuning in, mate. Enjoy your evening and sleep tight. Oh, well, bye Urban as well. Double goodbye. But again, also good timing. I think I'm pretty much gonna place a few more decals here and then I'm gonna follow your lead and also get ready for bed. I would ask Clovis if he's gonna stream, but then Clovis and Andy were streaming already, so I guess Clovis is not gonna go for a second round. Maybe somebody else is streaming. I'm gonna have a look at it in a moment. But I think especially this decal I'm placing right now, even though I'm a bit over it because we're using it too much, it really helped bringing everything a bit more in the Los Vagos vibe because it's just too clean compared to the rest of the build. If you don't have it, and just this already helps to make it a lot better. Yeah, I also agree, your fences. But then, wholeheartedly, I think it's such a difficult question to read that prior. But I do think quite a few of your packs are going to be less popular, even thinking about something like fences. As much as I love your fences, if I have a proper made 3D Blender fence, I will probably choose that one instead. And I think your packs shine the most where they're really flawless. Like, one of my favorite assets by you forever will always be this. Because yes, maybe a Blender model of this can look 5% better, but this is nearly perfect. Like, this is so nice and perfect for being a small dinghy or small, how do you even call those? Rib boat, I guess? That these are really good. Yeah, you make a good point, but then even if they're not net lanes from the start, people will just make them as props, I guess, which still could be an option. But I've never had an asset editor. I'm a bit scared and excited for it, but I don't really know what to expect yet. You guys probably all know better than me. Because I guess in CS1 there never was a situation like this where the asset editor launched later, so you never had as much need as us CS2 players for these improvised assets in the meanwhile. So yeah, I guess nobody knows. In what sense? You mean for you, or you mean for the Blender people? Because no, for you, I totally don't underestimate it. I know how much work it is, and I don't expect you to immediately upload all of your things. It's part of why I'm asking the question, because I agree with you that it's a lot of work. So I assume you should do exactly what it sounds like you're doing to prioritize a bit and decide which of your packs are the most needed or the most appreciated and necessary at the start of the editor. I guess so. Yes, goes for all of them, but then I also don't expect it to immediately be flooded, but then if you listen to many of the Blender people, they're all basically saying we're stockpiling great stuff since 2 years now, and I think a lot of the asset creators have a shitload of stuff ready. Obviously, then it's still a lot of manual work to upload it and make it an asset pack and everything. But I assume that there is going to be a lot of people ready and waiting to pump out stuff as soon as the editor is live. And obviously, for every single person, that is a lot of work. But then if the editor is live and it's like, I don't know, 5,000 people with something prepared, even if it's just 300 people with something prepared, and everybody of them uploads even just 3 packs, then that's 900 assets at the start of the editor. Like, I do think we're probably all gonna be very overwhelmed and a bit knocked out by the amount of things we're getting. I would guess so. Again, I'm not sure, but my feeling says probably. Because I know even when I started playing the game a bit over a year ago, that many people were already saying that they're preparing Blender assets and they're waiting for the editor to come out because they have a lot of stuff ready for it already. And is that something, just to understand, is that something that people could prepare already, the pathing and everything? Because while you can't share it yet, I guess the asset import already mostly works, right? So is that not something that people like Revo, for example, could prepare already as well? Or is that something that will change with the asset importer and they have to redo all of that? Because even if we're just looking at the people who made the content creator pack so far, right? The few very special chosen master creators, they all done that already, right? Like I assume for them that's not actually something new. And since I see that there is an ad break in 5 minutes, and I don't want to make you guys suffer through another ad break if I'm gonna go sleep soon anyways, I will put you in a nice position to have a look at our city and have a look at who is streaming, so I can rate you guys out before the ad break. I should most likely be streaming in Monday again, as always. I don't have a schedule. I generally try to stream in Monday. It's my only somewhat regular day I stream on. Next weekend I won't have any time to stream, so should have to be beforehand. But yeah, as always, if you want to catch my streams, I don't stream on a schedule. Easiest way to catch my future streams generally is joining my Discord, where I always ping before I go live, and otherwise follow me on my stream. But I personally am not on Twitch all the time, especially when I'm not sure who is streaming, so I very much rely on Discord pings, so that's why I recommend people to also do. And let's see, are we the last ones to play City out of the people who are following, or is there somebody playing Cities today? Nobody playing Cities today. That's actually curious. I know where I'm gonna rate you guys over to. I don't think I've ever rated there, and it's a channel I've not watched much myself. I think Architecture TV is a stream that more people than me are familiar with. My understanding is that she used to grow as a streamer in the Cities community, and nowadays mainly does architecture real-life streams, which not what I would usually watch, but I did find her streams very enjoyable, so I hope you guys enjoy your time over there. And I wish all of you cuties an absolute wonderful good night, and hope you have fun. I hope I should be back in Monday, like I said. And again, thank you cuties so much for tuning in, and enjoy your night, guys. Bye bye.